One. Hey, Luke, what's up?
What's up, Ryan? How's life?
Life is good. Life is good. Can't complain. The things are starting to open up. Businesses are starting to open up. So I think I might actually go to a restaurant here this weekend.
I got to go to one yesterday. It
You
was
did?
so nice. Yeah. I live right next to Ventura County, which is, now opened up.
Hmm.
And I went to this taco shop, which is right next to the ocean. Oh my gosh, it was so nice.
That's awesome. Was it weird? Like, what did it feel like?
I mean, it was like the first time that I've sat down at a restaurant in like 3 months. It was just like it was so normal that it felt weird. Like that's how I
Hmm.
would describe it, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Um, Last time we talked, you were getting ready to graduate high school, I believe. Has that happened or is that still coming up?
Still coming up. I graduated in June, late June, or early.
Late
No,
June.
sorry, mid-June, mid-June.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
no
I saw
plans
your
there.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, oh, no, yeah, no plans there. It's still planned to be an online graduation. Whatever. Can't really do much about that. So
Yeah, because I saw your Instagram and it looked like y'all were trying to like protest it or try to make it
yeah.
go to.
Oh yeah. I guess yeah. Maybe I can talk about that here. So yeah, a lot of people thought that I was protesting like social distancing or
Oh
something,
no.
and no, I was just protesting that like we like a socially distanced graduation is possible. If everybody is like 6 feet apart, or even more than that. Like my school personally, my field is huge. We could
Yeah.
fit like 2,000 people in that stadium socially distanced. It would have been fine, but a lot of people are worried that either like, oh, Luke, is it really worth it if a person dies at your graduation? And my response to that is, I mean, if you're a vulnerable person, then just don't come. But
Right.
people have their opinions, obviously. So like, I'm not trying to kill people. I swear, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I saw on TikTok someone did they there are like graduations that are socially distanced. Like there's chairs spread out and it looked like it took up the entire field. Like looked
Yeah,
crazy, but it worked, it seemed like, and it looked like it was kind of fun.
yeah. It really kind of made me think because I was getting hate for my video. Yet somebody was posting a socially distanced graduation. They got 100,000 likes, and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there. Are y'all really gonna hate on me when somebody else is doing like this is hypocritical? Like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah.
What
People,
social media, just
yeah, social
period.
media, anything online, you just get extremes from both sides of the aisle, and you can never. There's no middle ground ever when it's online.
I
So
feel like the
polarizing.
energy has changed though. I don't know about you. I feel like the energy on the internet in general has just kind of gotten angrier because everybody's kind of done with being inside and they're kind of just spreading that anger, towards other people. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, people are inside and they're on the internet more, so that I could see there being more um, arguments and just things like that.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, you were planning on moving to LA, but then I know we chatted offline, and you mentioned that you're actually going to college now. Do you want to
Oh
talk about that, or what influenced that decision? Or
yeah, so I was actually planning on going to community out here because I wanted to stay in LA for TikTok. But I've decided to go over to Arizona, go to ASU because my mom was out there, so I could in-state. And on top of that, I feel like the entertainment industry isn't going to recover for a few years. So I have a
mm,
few years just to kind of get more comfortable in my own skin,
yeah,
because I know that Hollywood and the social media industry itself is it's very intense, and
yeah,
like especially once you're big, like I can't imagine ever having the Charlie D'Amelios following, that would be insane to me. I could never, I don't know what I would do with myself.
right, yeah. Once you enter that belly of the beast, then I assume that it's life changing and very hard to navigate around.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool. And what are you studying at Arizona?
Biochem, biochemistry for
Biochem.
now. It could change. I am debating right now whether I want to change my major to like film or acting, but I don't know if I want to get a degree in that simply because a degree in filming and acting, I feel like it's kind of worthless. Like,
Uh-huh.
when you can get that same skill set off of just, going to what are they called? Going to what would be something? What would be a good example of this? Um, Oh gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. I would say like going. You can go train. You can train to be an actor on yourself. There's like YouTube tutorials online. There's
Yeah.
tutorials on how to edit film and photography on YouTube. I remember I watched this one YouTuber called Oh my god. Oh, the Sneeko. Do you know who Sneeko is or no?
Mm-mm.
No. Well, he dropped out of film school, and he said that he basically like he conveyed everything that he learned in a 5 minute video from film school. So it just kind of made me double take whether or not I want to actually go there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, because biochem, I mean, you actually need to like learn it in a classroom and like do a lab and things like that. But you can't learn biochem on YouTube, but you can learn acting or filmmaking on YouTube or
Yeah.
and
Like
or from
biochemistry is
doing
something
it.
that you need to have every single element memorized. You need to know exactly what you're talking about, or else you can I mean, biochem. It's a much harder degree to go into, and I don't even know if I want to go into it anymore, simply because I don't know if I'm gonna have the time for it, because I'm gonna be doing social media on the side. But we're gonna
Mhm.
find out. I'm just gonna take life how it goes, and whatever path works for me, I'm gonna go with it. So that's my plan.
Nice. Well, that's gonna be fun, and college is definitely a fun time. I know Arizona. I've had a few friends that went to Arizona, and they loved it. It's a fun school, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah, yeah.
boardroom will not be too much of an issue out there.
I'm just worried about the heat, man. I don't know if I can handle the heat. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one. It gets 120 out there. Like I don't know. I don't know if I can deal with that. Nor I'm kind of worried about the gay culture out there too. I don't know what it's like out there. So that's another one of my worries.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in college, especially in like a big college like that, in a what you would call a party college, there's definitely going to be a good gay culture. It might be
Yeah.
like a little underground per se, but there'll definitely be a lot of good, fun gay people to make friends with. I know at my school at Ole Miss, which was in Mississippi,
Yeah.
thinking of Mississippi off the top of your head, you're like, there's no gay people. What the hell? Like that's no. It was actually really fun. There was a great group of gay people, a few gay cliques actually, like different segments of the gay community. But yeah, I mean, it was still fun, and there's people you'll meet for sure. Um,
I don't know what the deal is gonna be for frats though. I don't know if frats letting gay kids. I don't know. I don't know if that's a. I don't know.
oh, you think about rushing?
I was debating it because I don't know, it just like sounds something fun that I want to do in college. I want to have that experience, but at the
Yeah,
same time, am I able to really? Like, I,
I
I know that there's gay frats, but I don't know if there's one at ASU. From my knowledge, I don't think there is.
Dude, I think you could, without knowing anything about ASU frats, I would assume that you can get in, or that you will get in, or that they'll be fine with it. Even at Ole Miss, towards the end of my career, like I went to Ole Miss and I was closeted, and I joined a frat closeted and everything. But when I was a freshman, sophomore, there wasn't really any like open gay people in fraternities. But by the time I was a fourth year or a senior, um, like some of the younger class I had heard like were taking like openly gay people in some fraternities and stuff. So I think
Yeah.
that it's going to depend on the fraternity for sure. I'm sure there's like a fraternity or two or three out there at ASU that is very homophobic, but I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
find one that's accepting, and that's where you'll want to be ultimately.
Yeah,
So
I'm not too worried about that. That's just something that, like, if it happens, it happens. It'll be fun. But if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that too. So.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, So I posted a on Instagram. I said suggest topics to talk about, and I haven't looked too much at it. But so let me pull one up. Let me just
Yeah,
see
go ahead
what
and
we
look at
have.
it. I'm interested to see what topics people wrote on there.
Um, okay, so this person wants to know about being too young to know that you're LGBT. Um, I guess let's talk about like let's get personal a little bit. When did you? I'll answer mine, but
Yeah.
I'll ask you first. When did you like first remember like feeling different, or like did you have like a crush as a kid, or did you like notice people on TV, and when did you first start seeing signs that, oh, maybe you're into men?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I need to think about this for
Okay,
a
I'll
second.
go first. I'll go first then.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
um
Give me some time to ponder.
yeah, absolutely. So the topic is young kids knowing they're LGBT. When is it too young? And so I would say like I was always like just drawn towards attractive men, even from a very young age. I remember like vividly, like Anakin Skywalker, not the kid version and not the Darth Vader version, but like the Hayden Christensen version. I loved him, and so I was like 8 years old, and he's out there slinging his lightsaber, and I thought he was so hot. And I didn't really necessarily have like sexual desires or feelings, but I was just really drawn to it. I was really
Yeah.
just attractive, and it wasn't like super sexual, but I was still attracted to it. So
Yeah.
that happened, I would say, when I was around like 8 years old, and that was like my first like memory of like feeling attracted towards a man or feeling attraction in general. Um, so I would say like for me, like yeah, like you could be a young kid, you could be 7, 8 years old, and you'll know more attraction. I remember being very curious too as a child. Like when I was like really little with my friends and stuff, we would sometimes like change in front of each other or
Yeah.
um, even just get naked for fun. Like you know how kids are sometimes they just are crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember just still being drawn to that. Again, nothing was sexual. I wasn't like
No,
perverted in
it's
any
yeah,
sense,
at that
but
age you don't know what sexual is. It's just kind of you just
right.
do things. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just like
Um.
it because you like it. So for me, I
Actually,
would say very young, like 7, 6, 7, 8 years old is when you start to notice it.
I would say the same thing for me. I remember my mom. My mom, there was an incident when I was like 6 years old or something. I was at the park and there was just like a little toddler girl running around naked. And I had never seen a vagina before. So I literally screamed. I was like, "Mom, where is her penis?" And I like freaked out over it. I would say there wasn't like any times that I like hardcore crush on a guy when I was younger, mainly because I was very protected as a kid. My mom literally like she would not let me watch anything that was over G rating until I was like 12.
Oh
So
wow.
I didn't get exposed to pop culture until I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So once I started to get exposed to pop culture, I was a little bit of a Swiftie. I was a little bit of a Taylor Swift fan. You know, I listened to 1989. I listened to 22. And yeah, I know all the songs on those albums. But I would say that going into my middle school, days, I was actually so focused on schoolwork at that time that I literally gave zero thought
Mm.
to sexuality or even like I just didn't think about it because I was so focused on my life then. Like my parents had gotten divorced. I had like 2 to 3 hours of homework a night because I was going to this real hard school, and so I didn't have time to think about it or to ponder about it. So I would say that I knew about it subconsciously, but I didn't really approach it until I was in a mentally stable place for me, which is about last year, which is when I came out,
Hmm.
January 2nd. I still remember the day.
January
So
2nd.
but I would say that I knew like I fully like I accepted myself by the time I was like 16 and a half.
Hmm.
It took me a while there. The journey's different for everybody. That's I feel like today nowadays with social media, it's made it a lot easier for people to come out and for people to accept themselves simply because there's so many people to look up to. There's so many
Yeah.
people that like because of social media and its platform, now everybody has a voice, and that's a really good thing. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really accept myself until I was like 16 and a half. Some
16.
people, yeah, it took me a while there.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
And for me, it was even different. So again, I was having sexual or attraction to guys at like 8 years old, but I didn't even come out till I was 22. So,
yeah.
like you said, it is different for everyone. It is a different journey. Um,
I think what I would do when I was younger would be like, damn, that guy's attractive. I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm just gonna push this to the side until later. That's
yeah.
literally what I would do when I was younger. I wasn't homophobic per se, but I was not for being gay because my mom was not. She my mom is a very strong Christian, and I
Mm,
love and support her to this day.
mm,
And she like now we've resolved most of our problems. We're on good terms now, but back then she was super anti-gay. I remember one time. We were in the car driving home from school, and gay marriage had just been passed. Gay marriage
yeah.
had just been legalized, and she looked at me. She was like, "God, this country, what's this country coming to?" And I was just like,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I got a comment on one of my videos yesterday. Some guy was like, "You don't experience homophobia because you're masculine," and I was just sitting there like, "Well, guys, I guess this comment now took away the years of pain that my mom caused me." But yes, thank you, man. But
Oh my God.
yeah, I
It's
can't do much.
again the internet. Like just stop. If you're gonna be negative, don't go on the internet. Like seriously,
Exactly.
eh, that's ridiculous to think that someone can't experience homophobia because they're masculine.
And
Um,
I give people the benefit of the doubt. When
mm,
people write those hate comments, they're probably in a bad place. They're probably bored. They had to get some energy out, and you know what?
yeah,
I can get over it.
yeah.
I've learned. I like since we last talked, I've slowly acclimated to getting hate comments. It's something that you have to be used to as a
Mhm.
creator. I think you know this too. I've seen you've been reacting to hate comments too with
Oh
sounds
yeah.
and stuff. I've been seeing you. I've been seeing you. I've liked every video, but I found something really interesting is that 99% of the comments and like the followers, the people that follow you, they all support you. But
Mhm.
if you respond to those hate comments, then they're going to be like, "Oh, what? Luke's getting hate now? What's going on?" What? And then you kind of build it up yourself. So I've
Yeah.
learned to just kind of just let it be. Just hands off. If people are going to hate, I'm not even going to bother responding because you can't change people's minds anyways. Sometimes people they just don't want. They're not in that mindset where they want to be changed. So. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. That's an important thing to bring up. Is that especially for, I know I get a lot of comments and DMs from people saying like, "How do I make my parents not homophobic?" And you said, just as you said, they need to be in a mindset to change. So to anyone who's approaching that question of how do I make my parents, that's the wrong way to approach it. You can't make your, as shitty as that is, and I empathize with having parents that are homophobic. You can't make them do anything. You have to educate them and be reasonable with them and show them love and hope that they will want to change and accept and open up to accepting, gay people or LGBT people. Um, yeah, it's really, there's so many things. We try to force a lot of change onto people, and that's anything from dealing with a homophobic person or a toxic person to dealing with friends. I know I've had to cut off friends before because they
Yeah.
didn't want to change and evolve. One of my best friends from college, we were great friends from freshman year to senior year of college, and in the last semester of senior year, he was still acting like a toddler, like a freshman year idiot, and we had to cut him off, my friend group, because he's still in school right now, a 6th year. He's still trying to get his degree 6 years later because he just couldn't mature and evolve with the group. And we tried
Change
for
is
the
something
longest
that
time.
needs to be voluntary.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the point, is that we tried for the longest time to get him to evolve and change, but he never wanted to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have a few
yeah.
stories like that as well, with friends who just didn't want to change, and that's okay. Sometimes it's good to let people go. Sometimes your story has been, written with these people. Your story's done with these people, and it's okay to let people go and move on.
Mhm.
That's something that I have to remind myself sometimes too, because I've, recently coming out of high school, I've lost like most of my friends. Like not, a lot of them just aren't talking to me or to anybody in general now, and they're all moving out to college. So it's kind of like, now that Corona's kind of messed everything up, like people just aren't even bothering to reconnect anymore, and that's okay. I had my story with them; they had my story
Yeah.
with me. But there's sometimes you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's, it's the
Exactly.
fact of life.
That is one thing. If you are, graduating high school, there's going to be a lot of people you're not going to see again.
Yeah,
Even people who you think you might see again, you probably won't see them.
you
And
won't.
that's
That's
and
the
that's
reality.
okay.
I lost one of my best friends. One of my best friends. I think I told you about this the last live stream. He forced, like when I went to go sleep over at his house. He forced me to sleep on top of the blankets
Oh,
with a
that's
pillow
right.
between us.
Yeah.
And that was one of my best friends at the time. I obviously I cut him off. I didn't give him a reason why, just to see if he would even bother to put in the effort to contact me again. He never did.
Hmm.
And if anything, that's good that I cut him off then. Why should I have somebody in my life that is not putting as much effort as I am? Like
Hmm.
that's my view. That's my view on it. So
Yeah. What did he do again? He knew you were because you were gay. He like made you
yeah.
sleep. Not he didn't let you sleep in the normal place that you usually go.
Yeah, so
Or
him and his best friend, me and like I used to be best friends with like two other straight guys, and him and the other straight guy, they were close, they were tight knit. They were more gay than gay guys. You know how straight guys act
yeah.
sometimes. They slap each other's asses and everything. But with me, he was both of us, or no, not the other friend. The other friend that I had, we had different issues, but he was
Mm.
never homophobic to me. But him, he would always tread lightly around me. I always found it weird. And then when I slept over at his house, I didn't think about it at the time until 2 months later. That it took me 2 months to face it, because the guy I was dating at the time, he was like, "Oh, Luke, it doesn't matter. It's okay. If somebody does that, it's okay." I was like, "No, the tiny things are what matter. The tiny things are what make sure that we have rights in the future. We have to fight for the tiny things because that's what makes the difference at the end of the day."
Hmm.
But yeah, I cut him off, and that was that, man. It's people come and go. Sometimes people are there to teach you lessons. They're not meant to be there for your entire life, but it's just a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, I think dealing with understanding that cutting off people is okay and a lot of times and sometimes necessary is a big thing that a lot of younger people need to hear. Maybe they're in this live stream, but I get a lot of DMs about people with it. Hey, I have this toxic friend. Hey, I have this friend that keeps dead naming me. Hey, I have this friend that says this. It's like, well, you have to cut him off. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, but it's the ultimate reality, the sad reality.
My recommendation to those people would be, before I cut off this friend, I did confront him, not about the homophobia thing, just to see if he wanted to be friends in general. He didn't. That's my advice to those people who are watching this or listening to this, is that if you have a friend who you're just on the fence about, confront them. And if they acknowledge their wrongdoing and you acknowledge your wrongdoing and they're willing to change, then that's somebody you want to keep in your life. But if they're
Yeah,
not and they're bringing you down, it's not worth your time to keep somebody who is going to bring you down when you should be surrounding yourself with people who bring you up and make you feel good.
absolutely. And who make you a better person as well. You should be
Hmm.
surrounding with yourself with people who promote you and who want you to do better and hope that you do better and encourage you instead of dragging you down with them, um,
Exactly.
whatever that looks like. So I'm going to pull up another question.
Wait, wait. Can I make
Oh
one
yeah,
more
go.
point here? One more
Yeah,
point here.
absolutely.
You should not drop somebody because of a stupid mistake, because sometimes people, we're all human. We make mistakes. We
Yeah.
make mistakes. Sometimes people are stupid. You shouldn't drop people just because they make one mistake.
Oh,
You need to, it's
absolutely.
not, it takes, it should be a snowball effect. That's why you break up. You break up with a friend or something. It's because of a snowball, not
Yeah.
because of one event,
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly. I know last time cancel culture was a huge topic of our conversation. Um, and so, like you said, don't lose a friend, don't cancel a friend over one instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, have you heard about this pride flag issue in the UK?
Pride flag issue? No, I haven't. Educate me, please.
Um, so what I think, so I'm not fully educated on it, but I think that there's like the National Health Organization or whatever from the UK has created this flag, um, given this pandemic and everything, and they basically stole the pride flag, and so I believe that there's people upset at this UK health organization because they're stealing the pride flag. Um, but I'm not British, so I don't know
If
exactly.
I'm going to be honest, that just seems like people are just trying to find something to be upset about.
Yeah.
Like that's my opinion on it. Like people are gonna plagiarize and steal from you your entire life. Like people are gonna. That's what people do. That's what that I would argue that gay culture like low key makes pop culture. Like we
Oh,
start what turns into pop culture, and it gets stolen from us, low key. That's what happens. But what can we do? What
yeah.
can we do about it? You know.
So I just looked it up, and I'm not sure how to share it on the screen, but it's basically a rainbow flag with the words NHS like in the middle of it, which NHS I believe stands for National Health something. Anyway, and so there's like a petition calling for people to change the flag. But here's okay. So from the little that I know about this flag issue, here's my thing.
Yeah.
They're not going to steal it from us because we own it and we can continue to own it. Just because they're using it too doesn't mean that it's instantly gone from us. We just have to work it better, right? Like we just
Yeah.
have we just have to continue to use it, continue to be loud, continue to be proud, and they're not going to take anything from us. Okay, wait. I'm getting a little bit more.
Yeah, I
Someone's
don't I don't
commenting.
know I don't know too much info about it, so I can't really like say that I have a strong opinion. But
Yeah.
from what Amy just typed, I don't know if it's very hard to for me to give an opinion about something that I'm not knowledgeable on, simply because then I just come off like if I make a statement, then I come off as an educated. That's why I don't that's why I only whenever make my opinions, I always make it about something that I know so I can argue it. But
Yeah.
I don't know too much about this, but from what she's saying,
Yeah.
I can't really support that.
She's there homophobes putting pride flags in their windows saying "Go NHS," but if the child was gay, they would kick them out. Okay, so the issue seems to be that homophobic people are supporting this health organization, but it's because they're homophobic, so they shouldn't be able to have the rainbow flag. Again, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm not super educated on this matter and on all the details of what's going on, but I just think it goes back to, we have to own. We are in control of our own destiny. We can't control what other people do or don't do. So just continue to fly the rainbow flag and be proud. This is ours. This means pride to us. This means pride to most of the world. So
we can
we're
control what we can't control what people do to us, but we can control how we react to those situations. So,
yes.
that's
I I had a boss once that gave me very good advice. He said the only things you can control are your actions and your reactions. Nothing else in life you can control. You can't control what your parents say to you when you do something. You can't control what your friends say to you when you fuck up. Like, you can't control anything. The only thing you can control is what you do and then how you react to certain things. And I think that's I try to remember that often, because a lot of times something happens and we want to get mad. We want to freak out. We want to say, hey, they can't do that. It's like, well, we can't control their actions. We can only control how we react to things and how we feel. How do I submit a question? Says Joel Blank. Joel, just type it in here.
yeah.
Yeah, just if you have a question or a topic that you want to be discussed, just type it up in here.
Yeah, were there any other interesting talking points in that Instagram?
Yeah, there's a few. A lot of them are just things that I'm not sure if we can
talk about.
Well,
Oh.
no, it's more about like being trans, but neither of us are trans.
Oh, I know a lot about trans. I can talk about trans. I'm a strong supporter of trans.
Okay. I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm a supporter too. But
Yeah.
let's see. Okay, how can I? Well, this might be good because you have a homophobic mom, or you did. I know you put things up. How can I live as a trans female to male with transphobic parents?
I would say that it's hard. It's hard to live with parents who are transphobic, homophobic. Period. It's a very hard process.
Mhm.
And I would say, depending on your situation, that coming out, if you're not safe, if it's not safe for you to come out, then don't do it. You know, we can't exactly have pride if everybody's dead. You have to
Yeah.
make this. You have to make smart decisions. And living with your parents when they're homophobic or when they're transphobic, sometimes you have to make compromises to make sure that you are able to stay financially stable or go to college. And my advice to you would be to try and judge how transphobic they are. And if you're already out to them and they're still transphobic, then my advice to you would be to save up enough money and get out of there. I feel like the thing that a lot of kids nowadays struggle with, even like, older kids, like in their, like millennials and Gen Z, is that
Mhm.
we are still financially dependent on our parents until we are like 25, 26.
Mm.
And when you're gay or when you're trans and your parents are not supportive of you, the reality is that you're gonna have to abide by their rules, or else you're gonna have to make your own way in life. Like, that's the truth of it. So
Mhm.
you have a hard choice. You either go with your parents, or you say, you know what, fuck it. This is my life. I'm doing what I want, and I'm gonna live my life my way. And if you guys love and support me, then love and support me. If you don't, then I'm sorry, I don't want you in my life. Like that. Those are the two situations you have to pick.
Mm.
But keep in mind that parents who are transphobic and homophobic, most of them, a high majority of them, tend to begin to change and begin to accept their child, because they realize that their child, it's their child. It's their child. Like, I'm not a parent, so I can't speak for parents, but from what my dad tells me, like, Luke, I could never, regardless if I was homophobic or not, like, even my mom, she said, like, I will never stop loving you, Luke.
Mm.
Never. Like, that's a thing that I feel like parents sometimes they act irrationally out of love, because they don't know how to react. They feel like my mom personally, she feel like she failed as a parent when she found out that I was gay. And obviously that's changed, but it takes a lot of time for that. And like people who are coming out, this is for anybody who's trans, gay, bi, you know, whatever you are, it takes time. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience. Patience is really key to coming out, I would argue. You have to be patient with your parents. It takes a lot for them to understand something like that, especially when they were raised in a society that calls it, you know, a sin, calls it wrong. And while we're raised in a totally different society that calls it, I mean, obviously there's still people that think that it's wrong, but the majority of our generation is totally okay with it. You know, that's totally different than what our parents were raised in. So it's a complicated situation, but I would say, depending, it's a very, like, you know, base to base, like, you know, like type thing where you
case to case scenario.
or sorry, not base to, yeah, case to case.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
I agree. I agree totally, and I think that as you said, Luke, that patience is a big factor of it. And what I would suggest, if you are scared of coming out to your parents, to one, of course, make sure you're financially safe. Make sure you're not going to be cut off or you're kicked out of your house or physically beaten. And then two, understand that it might take some time for them to accept you. And what does that look like? That means you tell your truth, you come out, you be honest with them, you show them love, and then you leave it and you walk away and you say, I am gay, I'm trans, I am bi. Thank you for understanding. Good night. And
no, and on top of that, like, I think that this is also super important. If you're in a homophobic home, you need to have a go bag. You need to have a go bag. You need to have some sort of escape plan in case something does go wrong, because something could go wrong. You know, it's I feel like it's not people like act like it's bad to prepare for the worst situation. It's not. You should be prepared for that. You need to be mentally prepared. You need to be prepared physically as well. You need to prepare yourself for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
In that situation, obviously not in life, but, like, you know, sometimes it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, definitely be prepared for the worst case or the best case scenario. Be prepared. I know that when I came out, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't great. I was on my own in college. I was in my last semester of college. So when I came out to my family, college was already paid for. I didn't have much to worry about in terms of losing my financial security or my livelihood. But my mom, she told me later down the road, she told me that she went on antidepressants for 4 months after I came out. And then how does that make me feel? Like, because now I feel responsible for, you know, her doing and her medication.
But you see, that's not your fault. That was her reaction to you coming out. She could have handled it a healthier way. You know, that's my opinion. My mom also handled it super badly. My dad laughed about it. My dad didn't care. My dad didn't care, but my mom was like, she had like a whole thing over it. She had a whole mental breakdown. You know, it was terrible. I didn't talk about being gay with her. Yeah. Until, like, openly, up until like a month ago or two. Like, I came out to her a year ago, but we didn't talk about it for a while there. And, you know, like, parents just take their own time with things. And my mom, I guess that she finally, like, understood that, like, you know, some things are just out of your control and you have to accept your kid for who they are. Like, my mom, I actually, like, I remember 2 years ago, while I was still in the process of coming out, this is something for you closeted kids too. This is something that you should do. I tested my parents. I was like, oh, I would bring up, like, something in the news about a gay people. I was like, oh, Mom, what do you think about gay people? What was your interaction? She was like, oh, I love them. They're the most fun people on earth. On earth. I love hanging around them. And I was like, oh, that's a good sign. No. But, like, you gotta judge, because sometimes, like, people will be super, super, super supportive of gay people. But if it's their own son, it's different. I don't know. It's very weird. It's a very weird dynamic. You know this too, right?
Yeah. I mean, what happens with parents, and this is so common, this is like just the God honest truth, is that parents create their version of your life in your head. So what my mom had done is she created this version of me that was going to grow up, graduate college, and get married to a girl and have a family and give her grandchildren by the time she was 60 years old.
Yeah.
That's not what I want, though. That's not my life. That's not, even though that was her vision, that's not what I wanted. So when I came out, that shattered her vision, and that made her very upset because what she wanted was not going to happen. Now that sounds very selfish, and it is to an extent, but we have to empathize with, that's just part of being a parent, is when you love your kids so much, and it's just like when you get a boyfriend or girlfriend and you envision this wonderful life, you start thinking about the marriage or what, like, when you go crazy over someone that you're dating, and then it turns out that they're a piece of shit. Like, it shatters this false reality that you've created. And so as sad as that is, that's ultimately your fault for creating that reality. So that's ultimately your parents' fault for creating this reality of what they thought you would be.
Exactly. So, my dad always kept an open mind. My dad was always like, you know what, look at your life. You do what you want in your life. My mom, she had this plan. She had this perfect family image plan because she comes from, like, I also have to give my mom the benefit of the doubt here too. She comes from a very Catholic family, and they immigrated here from Honduras. So of course she's gonna have struggles with it. And hold on, I don't know if you saw the comments. Somebody said, so you're saying a person should run away from the place they started being abused / mentally hurting them? Their parents do it to their kids, just asking. And I would like to say, if you are in a place where you think that you cannot survive, you know, for any longer than like, if you think that you cannot survive, get out of that situation. Regardless if you're gay or not. Like, this should be a universal thing. If you feel like your life is compromised, if you feel like your mental well-being is compromised, if you feel like you are in trouble of some sort, just get away from. And obviously, you know, that this rationale shouldn't be applied to everything in life, because you can't run away from situations. You know, that's not a good way of approaching life. But sometimes the best thing to do is to run away. You know, I like, I'm not exactly one to advocate running away from your problems, but you can't exactly control your parents' reaction to you coming out, to you being trans. You can't control that. But what you can control is making sure that you are still okay. The only reason I say that, because I know that there are some extremely homophobic people out there, like parents out there, who will literally kill their kid if they come out as gay. Like, it's just a fact. If you live in the Middle East, you know, if you come out as gay, you're probably gonna die. Like, that's a fact that we have to face in the LGBT community, is that we have the most hate crimes. You know, I think that we have the most hate crimes out of any minority right now. I mean that statistics may have changed since I last read it, but that's the truth of it, and we have to be prepared for that. We, as a community, we should not submit. We need to rise up. We need to continue to be strong. We need to continue to be proud of who we are. That is the only way that we will be accepted and have equal rights. And that's what I believe. But yeah.
Absolutely. And if you are in a place that's mentally abusing you, if it was physical abuse, call the cops. If it's mental abuse, as Luke said, try to get out of there. I know you just said that you can't run away. It says I have nowhere to go. Maybe that's a different person. But if you do have nowhere to go, try to look for support groups, and you can look for them online. You can look for them at school. You can look for them in your community, and make connections with those people. Alphabet Mafia has a Discord channel.
If anything, no, don't. If you are in a situation where your parents are homophobic, but it's not life-threatening, just try and become financially independent. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I may have to sell my butt pics, but I'm still financially independent. I can still move out of my own place right now. I would be 100% stable and okay if I moved out right now. And that's the place that you should be. If you're in a situation where you feel unsafe, just prepare for the worst. Try and save up money for something. Plan for something. You got to plan for the worst eventuality in a situation like that. And that's what I did. And it turned out completely the opposite of what I thought it would. You know, I thought my dad would hate me. I thought my mom would accept me. No, opposites. You know?
And again, get yourself on your feet financially if you can. Work a job. Even if you're 16, go get a job at Wendy's or something. And try to save up, and still try to build that community. Because imagine this. Imagine finding 4 other LGBT friends, people, whatever you meet online, whether it's in the Alphabet Mafia Discord, whether it's on somewhere else, whether it's just anywhere. You start building this community of friends, and you are all like people who live in a terrible environment, live with homophobic family members, but you're working this job at Wendy's. Well, you work at that job for Wendy's for a year, you've saved. Now all four of you can go and move to Colorado and like live together and be room. Like I'm just saying, like you can escape it and find your happy place and make your own reality, but you have to take control of the driver's seat. You can't sit back and not do anything about it. Again, we can only control our actions and our reactions. So if you are in a bad spot, there's one, try to, as Luke said, work yourself so you are financially able to, and then two, build a community. And those are going to coincide together, and you're going to start living the life that you want to live. You're going to make that reality. You're going to make a life that's a lot better than what you are experiencing.
And I guess something else to add on here too, since I know there's a lot of closeted people watching this chat and people who are still struggling with their sexuality. When I was coming out, I came out on Reddit. I came out on an online community, and actually, you know, quite surprisingly, I actually made a friend off Reddit. He's one of my best friends right now, and he lives an hour and a half away from me. And I know, like, if he needed a place to stay, he has one here, and if I needed a place to stay, I got one over there too. And, you know, just because, like, I feel like a lot of people take online friends for granted. They are real friends. They are real friends. I would argue that sometimes they are more real than the friends that you have in your real life. So you got to take advantage of whatever opportunity comes to you. And I guess for those of you who are interested in the Reddit thing, there's a subreddit called LGBTeens. It's just LGBTEENS r/LGBTeens. And it's literally a community of people between the ages of 12 and I would say 18, 19. And they're all just there to help each other, to figure it out. People rant on there all the time about their problems, their love life, their homophobic parents, whatever. If you feel like you need a community, I recommend that one. You know, I had a great experience there. I had a lot of a lot of personal growth in that community. So if you're looking for a community where you can find like-minded people and you can find accepting people that, you know, will love you for who you are, then I would really recommend that. I would really recommend just trying to find a community in general, you know, Discord, Reddit, whatever it is.
Absolutely, because ultimately there's so many people. I know you might feel alone right now. You might feel like you're the only person that is experiencing this, and you might feel very lonely, but there's so many people. There's an entire family out there that supports you and that loves you, and that's what our community is, and that's the community we're trying to build. That's a common phrase in the LGBT community, is that we find our own family, or we make our own family. And
Correct.
to a lot of people, that's true. If you are in a situation where it's unfortunate that your actual bloodline doesn't accept you, you find your own family and you make your own family.
Family is shown by actions. You know, that's love is action. Love is an action. Love is
Yes.
whatever, it's an action, you know.
Exactly. This comment says, your thoughts on TikTok and bullying. Joel, do you want to expand on that, and then we'll get back to that? What do you like? Do you have any specifics? Do you mean like bullying people on TikTok, or is that something else? Yeah.
You know, my suggestion is some of the people watching this video, if you're really looking for a stream of income, and you know it's Corona season right now, so obviously it's you know it's going to be hard to get a job. My recommendation to you would be to hop on the social media train, because there is a lot of money in this industry. You can be a photographer, an editor, you can be whatever you want in this industry. You can literally just be yourself and make money. There is ways. If you really want to, you can get it. You just have to really want it. You have to be willing to eat shit to get your dream. That's the truth of it. You have to be willing to eat absolute shit. And I mean, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to get creative. If you have a lawnmower in your garage, like seriously, you can go door to door asking people if they want their lawnmower. Like just get down and dirty. Like just do something. Just really try to work for it, because it's ultimately going to pay off and put you in a better position. You're going to be happier. You're going to be living the life that you want to be living. It's going to be great. Thoughts on TikTok politics? So I think that it can be a good thing. I think that we need to educate people on certain issues. I think that you know, TikTok is a place. It's a platform, and therefore anything can belong on TikTok. But if you're talking about specifically like the politics of, I don't know, it can get toxic just like anything. And TikTok is a place where there's a lot of young minds, and so that's unfortunate when it does get toxic, because you have people like make videos that are saying terrible things and encouraging dead naming trans people, and young kids are reading that or watching that, and they're getting influenced by that. So I don't, I mean, and everyone that knows knows Alpha Mafia knows we get a little bit into politics. It's mostly LGBT issues, but I think we have to be careful on what we put on TikTok. And the more followers you have, the bigger responsibility you have, because as the Spider-Man mantra goes, great power comes great responsibility, and having a following does have great power.
My opinion on politics is that I think that, you can try and stop it from appearing on any platform, but it will appear. It's everywhere, and it can get very toxic. It, just like you said, it can get very toxic. And personally, I do my best to try and not get political. I'll put my piece, my comment in on drama, but will I comment on politics or Trump or anything like that? No, no, simply because I personally don't really like it when people, give their opinion on something, and because a lot of like, or not. Oh, I need to rephrase that. I don't like it
Mm.
when people give their opinion on something that they're not educated on,
Mm.
and that's what happens a lot on TikTok. Is that people will make these videos about something, and then those people that made the video will be super knowledgeable about the topic, and they'll be able to argue the heck out of it. But then people will blindly follow it,
Mm.
and it just turns into sort of a mob mentality type thing. And I don't know if I can support that. Like, if you're gonna be Republican, if you're gonna be Democrat, if you're gonna be independent, whatever you are, if you're gonna make a political opinion on TikTok, you have to know what you're talking about, period. You have to know what you're defending, you have to know why you're defending it. When you release a political opinion out there, you have to know what you're talking about for the viewers. For the viewers, you should do it for the sake of the viewers. You don't want to embarrass yourself, and on top of that, you don't want to be spreading lies out there like that. That's just the truth of it. And I haven't gotten political in such a long time, because you can't really tell what's facts and what's not nowadays. I mean, other than LGBT issues, that's the only thing I get political about. But
Mhm.
like, there's so much. I feel there's so much just sludge in the media now. There's so much garbage that it's just hard to filter out what's really important. I don't know if you heard, Costa Rica just legalized gay marriage, and like, nobody's talking about it because everybody's focused on all this other stuff, or the fact that last year there was 20 million people starving in on the Arabian Peninsula because of a war that Saudi Arabia was doing, and
Mhm.
nobody was talking about it or doing anything. Like, the media just cherry picks what they display to their viewers. And
Mhm.
I mean, Africa is still just as bad as it was 10 years ago, but nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of disgusting, to me, to be quite honest, if you think about it, but you can't really do
We,
anything
we
about it.
we live in a world where clicks and likes dominate what we put out.
Yeah.
The media only will put out what gets them clicks, and creators will only put out what gets them likes, which is unfortunate.
Which is
Because
why I changed the way that I put out content. I don't know if you've noticed my change.
oh, I
I've
noticed, I
realized that
like
I
it.
was I was trying so hard to fit into this mold, to be this creator who was, politically correct, who didn't want to get hate, not problematic. And I realized that, I am a human being, and these other creators are human beings too. And if I limit myself and try to box myself and try to be somebody that I don't want to be, I am not going to be happy. And
Mm.
ever since I started, being myself again on my TikTok, I've actually started to have positive numbers for the first time in literally months.
Mm.
Months since my coronavirus video, I've been having negative numbers, partially because I've just been trying to, like, ever since after I got that exposure, I saw I had like 1 million views on my profile. It just freaked me out. I didn't know
Yeah,
how to
you
react.
had a video that absolutely blew up.
Mm-hmm.
The yeah, the coronavirus, like, will it ever end, or like, are we stuck in it? Yeah, that
Yeah.
whole. So wait, so you actually started losing followers like after that?
Yeah, so I got up to like 160K, and then like it just kind of like steadily like it just was a very slow increase, and now finally my numbers are back up to like 1,000 a day or 500 a day. Finally,
Yeah.
like, after literal month, I haven't gotten those numbers for months because I've been trying so hard to be this other person, and now I've realized, like, all I got to do is be myself, and whatever content I put out there, people are gonna enjoy. People enjoy people enjoy hearing what I have to say, you know, and
Hmm.
it actually it feels nice, you know, to know that, and to know that by being myself, I can, you know, I can get people, and it really shows in the following now, you know, like
Yeah.
just be yourself and you will get, you be your legitimately honest self, and you will get people that support you.
And I think that goes beyond just talking about being a creator or creating content online. Be yourself, and your friends will you'll attract people that you want to be friends with. Like, you'll attract people that would be good for your life if you are yourself. If you fake being someone else, if you put on a mask like so many of us do, especially in high school, you might make friends with people for a short time. You might date that cute boy for a short time, but it's not going to work out in the end because you were faking it. So just like Luke's talking about, he was creating content that he was faking it through, and that didn't last, and you burn out. Start creating content, start being yourself,
Yeah,
whether it's online or in real life, and you're going to attract people that actually want to be with you and want and like you for you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Um,
Exactly. You should put out the same energy that you want to receive, you know.
yeah. Yeah. How did you think of that Corona TikTok? Walk me through that creative process.
So I would like to clarify first. I have my med card. I was a little bit high, and I was scrolling, and I saw the kid who made I would like to credit. There was this kid who made an original video, and I pretty much took his idea, and I was like, how would I make this, like, what is a really good way to make, like, he had pretty much, he didn't have the same exact concept, but he had like the concept of where it was just somebody who was self-deluding themselves, you know.
Mhm.
And I took that, I was like, what is a way to maybe make this blow up? And I was like, coronavirus. So my one of my best friends, Jenna, was there while we were recording, and it was like an hour long recording probably because my dad kept messing up lines and everything. My brother did too. But then after I posted it and everything, I was like, I mean, it'll probably get like 100K.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it was like
I
3
was not
million.
expecting Madison Beer to comment. That kind of blew me away. Like, she commented twice. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't quite, like, I knew Madison Beer existed, but I didn't like truly started, like, really following her until she commented on my videos, because she was like, I didn't know that she was into that stuff. I was like, oh wow, okay. So it seems like the celebrities like actually into like kind of like cool like retro-y type, cool skit like stuff. I was like, okay, this is an interesting change, but
Yeah.
it freaked me out more than anything. It really freaked me out because I was like, I don't know how am I gonna top this? What am I gonna do? Like, no, it's not about if you can top what you've done or anything. You just got to keep producing, and what will happen is you eventually will. It'll just naturally happen. You'll
Yeah.
just naturally grow, and your content will grow with you. That's just like a fact of
Yeah,
life.
don't put too much pressure on yourself. Otherwise burnout happens for sure.
Yeah. Like I burn out. I burn out. Like, it takes a while for me to burn out, but when I burn out, I burn out. I burn out.
Yeah. Yeah. Not having expectations is one of the greatest things that you can learn in life. To learn to control your expectations.
Yeah.
Because if you think like, oh, I'm gonna make this video and it's gonna go viral and I'm gonna get this many followers, and it doesn't happen, you're disappointed.
I'm just
But if
gonna
you
be
just
bummed
make this,
out.
yeah, but if you just make this video because you're like, I want to make this video because I want to tell this story and because I enjoy doing it, who cares what happens? And you make it and it blows up, great. If it doesn't do anything, great. Like, you enjoyed the process, you enjoyed doing it. Uh,
Exactly.
and so just trying to manage your expectations just in life, like overall. Uh, Not about sexuality, but what are your thoughts on binders and safety and stuff?
Actually, I have no thoughts on them. I don't know too much. Like, one of my so I used to have a best friend. Her, I'm not gonna name her name because I don't know if she wants to be named in here. But back then she was she, and now she is a he. And I would say that if the binder makes you feel more secure in yourself, wear it.
Hmm.
Whatever makes you feel more secure in yourself. It's your body. It's not mine. I'm not, like, I'm not gonna put my body rules on you. It's your body, man. I'm not gonna judge you for what you do with your body, and that's the truth. Nobody should judge you for what you do to your body or with your body. If you want to wear a binder, wear a binder.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's my opinion.
totally. I'm 100% on it. If it makes you happy, if it makes you confident, if it makes you whatever, if it's anything positive, wear it, use it, take it, do it. Uh, what are your thoughts on gay baiting on TikTok? Yeah, that's just not cool. I think that stupid and it's clout chasing, and I really don't like clout chasers.
Is it
In
bad
any
that I find it ironic? Because then you know what it means? It means that gay culture is starting to become normalized. That's what it means. If the straight guys are starting to act gay
yeah,
to try and seem cool, like
they want a piece of us.
exactly, exactly. And
Oh.
and as we found out, like I feel like most of these gay baiters, I feel like most of them are just not accepted themselves. I'm not saying. I mean, I did. I didn't say. You know the who's the creator who recently came out? The one who did the April Fool's joke, and he got a bunch of hate for it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I really don't follow too much TikTok drama, but
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, this guy came out and he got a bunch of hate for it. And a few days later, or no, like maybe a week later or two, he came out. He wrote an article on Huffington Post or something,
Mm,
and he was actually bi, and he decided to recant that he was bi on his TikTok because he was so scared.
mm.
Like legitimately, like I don't know, sometimes I don't know, some of these straight boys are, they may not be as straight as you see. I mean, as James Charles says, you know, they, some boys slip into his DMs. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
It happens to me too. Some straight boys will slip into my DMs. Like it's just, I don't
subtlety
know.
subtlety shows. I mean, so like a lot of people. Yeah, you can send signals through like subtle ways.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so have you heard about this bi pan controversy?
No, I haven't, or maybe I have. Can you
Yeah, I'll try to talk about it. So I believe, and Namen Noodle, if Namen Rudel, if you can please correct me in the comments if I'm not explaining it correctly. But I think that bisexual people are mad at pansexual people for making this label of pan or creating pan because it invalidates bisexual people, because pan supposedly means that they like you whether you're transgender male, whether you're a cis male, whether you're a transgender female, and then apparently like bi is excluding of transgender and other terminology. So bi people are upset at pansexual people because it makes bi people feel like they're excluding others, that bi people aren't very inclusive. So the controversy is pansexual even a valid term, or should everyone who considers himself pan just be called bi? I think that,
So
yeah.
my friend was, I know a little bit about this. Oh yeah, I should probably bring this. I used to run a gay Discord server. I had 550 members in it. I ran it for a while there, and I ended up deleting it. So like I had to interact with a lot of different people, and obviously a lot of pan people too. And my comment on it is that, you know, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Just love whoever you want, man. If you really feel like you need to label yourself as pansexual or bisexual or whatever, then go ahead. If you feel like you need to label yourself as gay, go ahead. But
Hmm.
I'm not going to be pressed about it because it's so insignificant. You know, like at the end of the day, you're gonna love who you love, and if you're bi and you like a trans guy, and but you call yourself bi or something, go ahead. But I believe that bi is inclusive of trans. Like I don't think that by calling yourself bi, you're saying, oh, I won't date trans people. Like I don't agree with that. I think that that meaning is wrong. I don't think that that's what people intended when they came up with the word bi. I think that they meant it just as they swing both for the the male sex and the female sex, not the male gender and female, just the sex, like the
Hmm.
organ. They can do both. That's what bi means at its thing. And I think, you know, pansexual, it more elaborates on the gender side. You
Mm,
will date somebody who does not fit gender norms.
mm,
That's what pansexual is arguing. And you know, the argument for somebody who's bisexual is that, like, you know, I'll still date somebody who's outside of gender norms. I don't really care. Like that, you know, somebody could argue that. And you know, to that, like, you know, it's valid. And you know, me not being, you know, bi or pan, maybe I am you know, maybe I am technically bi because I do like girls, you know, 10%. But I would I ever date or make out with a girl? No, I wouldn't. It's just not a thing that I would do.
yeah.
But it's just an issue that I don't know. Like I don't know. Both sides have valid points, but I think that I don't know. I can't really give my opinion on that if I'm gonna be honest. Like it's just both
Yeah,
has valid points.
I think again it's hard, and I'm not bi or pan, but I think that it's an issue of, once again, I think people are bored and people want to people want to cause controversy. People want
Yeah,
to. We this is not what we need to focus on. Y'all, we need to focus on the issues that are impacting the LGBT community. We need to focus on the
exactly.
injustice and inequality. We don't need to
Why are
be
we fighting amongst
cross
ourselves? We shouldn't
fighting.
be
Yeah, we
fighting
don't need to
amongst
be
ourselves.
fighting
Like
amongst
it
ourselves.
makes no sense for us to be fighting amongst ourselves over like I'm sorry if this comes off as like kind of like condescending, but
Mhm.
we should be focusing our energies on trying to make sure that people get equal, like our gay people get equal rights in South America, in Central
Yeah,
America, in Africa, in the Middle East. But no, we're focusing on something as small as this.
as a
Like
label.
this is definitely like a first world problem type thing. This is
Yeah,
not what people in third world countries are thinking about.
we need to be. We need to be. I mean, hell, we even need to be focusing on the kids here in America who are growing up in a homophobic family
Yeah.
and feel like they need to run away or that feel like they can't come out. Like, so we have bigger problems to worry about. And again, I hope that doesn't come off as like rude or like pushing off the issue, but it's just personally, it's what it's. I want to focus my energy on solving issues that are like literally causing life or death situations, or that are
Yeah.
literally causing people to take their lives in suicide.
Yeah.
And I think that's
This is
yeah,
not something that I like. This I used to be like so into the gay community when I was younger, like so much into it. Like when I was like 2 years ago, I was so into it, and I just realized like all of it's not worth arguing about. It really like you have to choose your battles. This is not something that I personally think. I think that me putting my effort towards trying to validate other people's lives in other countries is something worth more of my energy arguing than to argue over pansexual and bisexual being valid. They're both valid in their own
yeah,
way. And if one's trying to invalidate the other, like come on, like it really is not like
yeah.
just let people be who they want to be. If they want to label themselves as pan, if that makes them feel a little bit better, or sleep better at night, then go ahead, man. Go ahead. It's your life. It's not mine. Go ahead.
Amen.
I mean,
Love that. So this guy, so Darvan wants to know, how do you two come about acknowledging the privilege you may have? So yeah, so I acknowledge my privilege by trying to use my platform and use my energy and use my time to speak up on injustices that affect me slightly or affect me not at all. And so again, as everyone knows, Alphabet Mafia is dedicated to the LGBT community, and I do have the privilege of white skin. I do have the privilege of living in an area where I could probably walk down the street with painted nails, long hair, dressed in drag, and not get beat up. I might get a few looks, but I'm not going to get beat up. So I just acknowledge. I use my privilege to try to make the world better for everyone, or for people who might not have that luxury of being able to walk down the street in drag. And so that's where my privilege comes in. And I think it's important to note that my definition of privilege, and I think a lot of people agree with this, is that it's like a ladder. I see privilege as a ladder, and on the top of the ladder, on the very first rung, you have the straight, white, evangelical male. And yes, Christian is a privilege. It's no debate there. Have you ever tried to come out as an atheist to a Christian family? Being Christian is a privilege.
it's like a
There's
sin,
it's a
dude.
wrong.
It's a sin,
And
dude.
and every
I know
rung
this.
down,
I've been on both sides. I know this.
yeah.
It's a sin.
and then you go down the rung, and then it's like, okay, now you have a straight, or now you have a cis white gay male. That's like me, and like you just start going down the rung, and then you might, at the bottom of the privilege ladder, you might have a feminine, black, trans, you know, not very wealthy person. That's on the bottom of the privilege ladder. And so we just have to like recognize where we land, and then just try to bring up the people who might be below us. That's how I think that you go about acknowledging privilege. But yeah, Luke, do you have any thoughts on that?
I would say that privilege is something that you must acknowledge, but you should not let it consume your life, and you should not. Let's just say that you are somebody who's less privileged. You should not let it like control your life. You need to rise above that. You need to take that position that you're going to be like, you know what? Fuck you, society. I want to be this person. You're not going to fucking hold me back.
Mm.
That's what you have to do. You can't like you have to fight. You know, like I'm not. You see, I'm white passing. My mom is not white passing. I'm very lucky to where my dad is half and my mom is full Hispanic, and my mom immigrated here from Honduras, and she's not white passing like at all. We'll go to some like white towns and she'll just get the dirtiest looks. And when I tell you that even though I have issues with my mom, I stare every single person down. I'm like, try, do something, do something. But it's more of just like, I have this privilege of being white passing and being gay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break every single wall down, and I'm going to break every single barrier, and I'm going to make sure that the people that come after me don't even have to worry about those barriers. That's my goal. That being gay should just be like being straight.
Mhm.
It's whatever. It's just a fact of life, and you move up past it, and that's it. I don't think that it should, like, gay culture, yes, be preserved, yes, but it shouldn't be this, big, huge thing. Like, at the end of the day, that's our end goal. We just want to be like everybody else. Am I wrong? That's the way I want to be. I want to be treated like everybody else. I want to be able to hold my partner's hand and not have to worry about being beaten up. That's the
Amen.
truth of it.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
truth of it. So my goal in social media and like all this is to provide to kind of make a statement, to make a message that I can be this person, that I can do these things, that other people can do these things too, and I'm literally going to do my best to help everybody else who is under me try and get up out of get up on their feet. That's my opinion on privilege.
Yep.
That's what I do.
Are asexuals part of the community or are they straight community? No, I think they're part of the LGBT. I mean, I think for me, LGBT means anything that's not hetero. So yeah, of course, asexuals are in it because they're in it. You would agree, Luke?
Actually, I don't know. I agree that they're in it, but do they face the same stigmatizations that we do? I don't know.
No, I
That's the
don't think they
debate. That's
face
the debate. That's the
discrimination.
debate. That's the debate. It's not about if asexuals are in the community. They are, but I don't think that they face the same things that a gay man does, or a gay black man does, or
Hmm.
somebody who's trans. Like they do not face the same, because when you walk outside with your partner, like it sometimes, in some places you can't hold your hand, but if you're asexual,
Yeah,
there's
I don't
like, I'm
know, and
not
I
trying to
can't speak
invalidate
for
asexuality at all, but you know, like
right, and I
you're
can't
not,
speak
yeah.
for anyone, but I don't know anyone or know of any examples of someone like discriminating against an asexual. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I
Like
don't know
why would
anybody.
you be mad at like someone that's just like not gonna hook up with anyone or
That's
it's like
I'm sorry,
what?
he's just not gonna like I've never heard of anybody being discriminated at who's asexual. If you know of a situation where somebody has, then please go ahead and verbalize that. But I cannot recall from memory, and I have a lot of experience in the gay community, I would like to say at this point, I have not heard of anybody being discriminated for being asexual. If you're asexual, be proud of it. Be proud
Hmm.
of it. Be proud of it. Tell people about it. Do whatever you want. You're part of the LGBTQ community, but just like, I would say that asexuals who try and, like, I don't know, validate their opinion by saying that they receive the same amount of hate as a gay person, like, I don't think that that's the right thing to do, because, like, you don't, like, I know I don't receive the same amount of hate as a trans person, or somebody who's gay and black, or is it just the facts? It's just
Hmm.
facts of life. That's how society works. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it kind of goes back to recognizing privilege and
yeah,
just
it goes back to that privilege thing we were talking about earlier.
yeah. Cool. Does anybody else have any other topics that you'd like us to discuss? I'm looking if I missed anything that was kind of eye popping.
Yeah.
Oh, someone wants to know, how do you monetize TikTok? Well, for me, I mean, obviously, the clothing and the
The
stickers and things
clothing
like that
brand.
that people can buy, that's one way to monetize it. And I've probably made like $10 doing lives. So,
Same, same. I mean, I monetize. I monetize my platform through OnlyFans, guys, because if I don't know if you guys know how bad it is behind the scenes, but TikTok gives us nothing. TikTok takes more than 50% of each donation that you give us to on live. If you're ever live with a creator, do not donate to them, simply because TikTok takes most of the money. If you're dropping $50 in your creator, the creator's probably seeing 20 of it. And that's before taxes too. So keep that in mind as well. So it's just like, it being a creator, it's very, it's not a very financially stable lifestyle unless you know how to sell yourself. And like I figured out the easiest way to sell myself, it's through OnlyFans. And I'm okay with doing that. Some people aren't. Some people will judge me for it. That's okay too. But I'm okay with it. You know?
Yeah, there you go. And you're confident in it, and you own it, and clearly you've done well. So
Yeah.
more power to you.
Exactly.
Screw what the haters think.
Yeah. I've still received zero hate as of this moment. I would like to state in this podcast, zero hate yet, zero
That's
hate.
awesome.
I don't. That may change, but
The second you said that, someone's gonna like hear that and be like, "Oh, I want to go give him hate."
go give me hate. No, I
Yeah.
haven't received any hate yet. As of yet. It's definitely coming. I'm preparing myself for it. I know something's gonna be leaked eventually. It's just a fact of life at this point. But you know what? The internet will be blessed to see my cheeks.
Yeah, honestly, when leaks happen, it just boosts people's careers. Like I'm waiting for. I had this guy. I don't give out my Snapchat. Like my Snapchat's like my one thing that's like private, where it's only like my friends like that are on it, that like people actually like talk to or want to talk to. And so some guy got my Snapchat. I don't know how. He must have like guessed my username, and he added me. And the first thing he sent was, "I love your TikToks, but also you're hot as fuck. I want you to pound my asshole." And so he ended up sending pictures right after that. And I was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, 22. And I was like, "Okay, whatever." Anyway, we ended up exchanging a few videos. Like I took off my wristband and everything. He wanted to do like a full on like FaceTime, and I was like, no. I'm not showing my face. I'm not giving you any of that. Like, you got me. You found me. You sent pictures, whatever. And then the next day he was gone. Like it was gray. Like like when someone like unadds you on Snapchat, it's like gray, or like the message is like And so I was like, why did that happen? Like, was he trying to like get nudes and then link them or something? Like I was like,
that's so weird.
Like, but if it happens, I won't be mad. I will be proud of whatever comes out of that leak.
Fun fact. Never sent nudes before, except for OnlyFans. Never. I don't know. I don't know why or how. I just never have. I don't know how I've done it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I've done it. I don't know how I've done it, because there have been some tempting times. There have been some trying tribulations. Where where there'll be some very hot men just being like, "Luke," I'll just be like, "God, it's tempting. It's tempting." I don't know. I'm too pussy for that. I don't know. I'm too pussy for that. I'm too pussy.
In quarantine and everything, I am not sure how you got away with not sending nudes, but more power to you.
Bro, I've had the driest quarantine.
Same.
You see, I've tried, but no, there's nothing. The one guy that I was, kind of interested in on social media, he doesn't even like care that I exist. So I just kind of threw out the bag. I'm like, oh well, I tried, ladies and gentlemen. I tried. I've had my time here. Time to head out.
Is this anyone we want to call out? Are we spilling tea, or is this?
Oh no, we're definitely not calling this individual out. Definitely not, because I'm still talking to this individual. But this individual probably has no idea who he is either. So it's actually it's really great. I have communication issues that I still need to work through, but it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Don't we all? I wish it. Sometimes my mom said the other day that arranged marriages aren't a bad idea.
I know. Like low key.
Yeah.
I was reading about it. Like most of them end up being successful marriages, because you can still divorce an arranged marriage. And they end up like, I'm just kind of thinking like, Dad, set me up with somebody. Like I can't do this myself anymore, please.
What if? Okay, $1 billion business idea. What if it was like a matchmaker app type thing, or like a Stitch Fix? Okay, so there's Stitch Fix. It's a company. You like tell them like your style, and they send you a box of clothes every month. This isn't an ad. They send you a box of clothes every month, and it's tailored to your style, and you get to try all these new clothes. But what if there was like an app or something where you filled out your type, like what you're interested in, your hobbies, things like that, and they hooked you up with like a partner, like a marriage? Like what if it was just like an arranged marriage company? billion-dollar
I
idea.
would debate it. I'm not lying. I would debate it at this
Yeah.
point. Like, wait. How old are you, Ryan?
24.
Damn, man, you're still single. Come on. You're really not helping me out here, man. You're scaring me. You're scaring me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just I blew my shot because I didn't come out until I was a college or senior in college. So by that time, that was my like wild year. Like my senior year of college was like okay, I'm not going to date anybody. I'm just going to have fun. And then it got me to where I am today, where I'm single. And I made a TikTok the other day where I was like, you know what? I'm just waiting on the first round of divorces, like that 30 to 40 like range, and then I'll swoop in.
and then you'll be set.
Yeah.
I haven't personally, like, I've found that the young gay community here in LA is like non-existent almost, at least where I live. I live in a, like, you've been to where I live, you've been around here. It's a very like upper class area. I'm lucky enough to live here, but it's just like because we live in this like such upper class high area that people kind of stay closeted for a while and they just don't come out. Like it's sort of it's like a very like kind of reddish area around here,
Right.
and I mean it is what it is, but it's very frustrating when you're trying to find somebody to date. Because I've like settled on people.
Mm-hmm.
When I've come to dating, I've settled on a few people. Some people, like we just weren't meant to be.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, like I never had, like if I had to go back, would I have those experiences again? I don't know personally, because I feel like it's the same lesson taught over and over again that, I'm just settling for somebody, but I don't know.
Yeah, don't settle. But
yeah, watch my ex listen to this. Oh, God. We're not, we're gonna pretend he's not. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. What I have a question. What do you like, if you want to answer, but what do you charge your OnlyFans? Like, what is it monthly?
I charge $8 monthly,
Okay.
and then I actually send pictures once every few days, and I charge for those pictures as well, and I'll post pictures as well, obviously, because you're paying $8 a month. Like you got to get something for it. And then on top of that, I also post my YouTube videos there a few days before they're released. So you're getting I would argue, like I do my best to make sure that you're getting your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I do my best to make sure, like earlier this month, I was trying to post every day, but I've realized that the best way to post on OnlyFans is to do it once every few days. You don't have to change the prices or anything, but people just like when you put just the right amount of content, just the right amount, just like TikTok, you shouldn't put too much, but just the right amount, because then your followers are still staying engaged, with your page, but obviously you're putting enough out there to where like people want to come back, So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you like oversaturate it, then they feel like they've seen everything, and then they unsubscribe.
Exactly.
Did you see Tana Mojo released her OnlyFans, and it was like
my friend follows her. My friend follows her. I hear everything.
She's making bank. She is probably
she's going to be retired by the time she's 30. People can shit on her all she wants, but she's going to be retired by the time she's 30.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
She can. I don't know. Maybe she'll be the next billionaire like Kylie Jenner, but like, she probably made, I think, like $1 million. It was like, what was the math? I don't know. They released the numbers, but I think she came out and said that at least 50,000 people subscribed or joined it or whatever. It would just be crazy if we're talking dollars.
No, that's literally insane.
Yeah,
that's literally an insane amount of money. That's over $100,000 a month. If you're charging I can do the math right now. If you're charging $5 per person, you have 50,000 people subscribed. All right, that's $250,000 a month. I believe. Maybe I did that math wrong, but like that's like that's what my dad makes in a year. Like that's insane that people make that money right now. Like
I know.
I'm happy that I've started on this industry. I'm not going to go any further with it. It's just something to propel
What do you mean
me
not going further?
Yeah, something to propel me to the next level. I'm not.
You're talking about OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something to just propel me to the next level. Like That's the reality of it. I've decided. Oh yeah, I've decided now I want to pursue acting, and so I'm going to be going to ASU. I'm going to be doing my schoolwork there, and obviously on the side I'm going to be focusing on acting and just refining my acting skills so that when I finally do graduate, I have a really good portfolio and hopefully a good skill set as well, and I'll have enough money saved up too where I can just jump out and move out here. You know, like
Mhm.
that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. So.
Yeah. What type of actor do you see yourself? Do you have any like role models or any people that you could point to as like, oh, I want to be that type of actor?
I would say, you know, Adam Sandler is definitely an actor because he that I really people hate on him a lot, but I love how diverse of an actor he is. Like I don't know if you saw his last movie that he put
Uncut
on
Gems. I
Netflix,
haven't seen it. I've
Cut
heard.
Diamonds or something. It
Yeah.
was called Cut or something. One of the best movies I've ever seen. His acting was stellar. The film work the film on it, the film work on it too, the way it was produced and recorded, it was just so raw and lifelike. I loved it,
Mm.
you know. And then like the fact that he's able to go from that to just total like like a raunchy comedy, like that's an insane spectrum, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's somebody that I look up to. I also look up to Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, who doesn't? The kid
Yeah.
got an Oscar when he was below 20. Like that's insane too.
Right.
He went for his dream and he got it. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So you want to do like drama and comedy type roles, like pretty much
Correct.
anything? Okay.
Yeah, I'm more of like I'm a person where I've researched a lot of acting, and when you become an actor, acting isn't necessarily you like trying to become a different person. It's more of you channeling a part of yourself
Mm.
and becoming that character, but also putting a part of yourself into that character. That's what I've
Mm.
learned so far in studying acting,
Mm.
and I can do that. Like I feel like I've trained myself to do that in social situations and such, just talking to people, engaging with people, and such. You just become you become a good actor when you're an extrovert. Like sometimes there's people that you don't like to hang around. You have to act around them, and that's okay. Sometimes
Right.
there's people that you just don't vibe with, and that's okay that you act around. You don't have to be friends with them, but like you can always be friendly. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I acted straight for 22 years, so I want a goddamn Oscar.
Exactly. I acted straight for 17 years. I'm surprised I pulled. No, I'm not surprised I pulled. I could have pulled this off for much longer. I just decided not to. I could have had my best friend act as my girlfriend, and we would have been chill. We would have been settled. We would have been okay. But
Golden. So have you watched on Netflix? It's a new series out. It's called Hollywood.
I already finished it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I don't watch too much TV, but
I
literally I
love that.
started that
Love
one
that
and
show.
I finished it in like 2 days. Like I just had to
I
binge it.
loved that show. I loved the message behind it. I loved the
Mhm.
ending. I loved the characters. I loved how it was gay, but not like in your face gay, not
Yeah,
like
but like it
what
was
would you call
real
it?
too. Like Rock
It
Hudson,
was
a real
real. It
guy.
was raw. It was raw,
Yeah.
which is what it was realistic.
Hmm.
In the 1920s, I could totally see something like that happening. In fact, I did research. One of the characters, the Rock Hudson, that
Yeah,
guy, he was a real guy.
yeah, he's
They,
real.
they, they based him off of like a real person. I just found that like so interesting, that there was a gay community back back then just like that. I mean, I'm not too surprised by it, but like I
Mm.
was still kind of like, oh, wow, okay.
I was cracking up in like the first few episodes because there's just so much sex, and it's the
Right.
most ridiculous. Like it's what you think of when you think of Hollywood. It's like
Yep.
they held nothing back. They're just like, this is it. Everyone's fucking. Everyone's paying
Yep.
for sex. Everyone's
Yep.
snorting coke,
Yep.
smoking cigs inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
in the
Hollywood. That's
19
Hollywood at its core. That's
yeah,
what it is.
and
Hollywood is rotten, and you can't hide that. They didn't even bother to try and hide it, which is what I loved. It was just raw.
yeah. And in the 1940s, that was like it's so cool just having that scenery, that what's the word? Like the way that it was presented
Yeah.
in that style in that time period
Yeah.
was pretty
Exactly.
cool. Uh,
Is there anybody else watching right now? Is there any viewers?
yeah, we have 11.
Oh, that's awesome. What's up, 11 viewers? Nobody's commenting anything, so I was just like, is
I
everybody
know.
on silent just listening to us? I love it. Okay, okay.
Yeah, well, I thank you for listening.
Yeah.
The last comment we have was at 3:18, which was 10 minutes ago, and it says you both are so pretty. Thank
Oh,
you.
oh, thank you. Thank you. So what have you decided? What path are you taking? Are you going to continue like, you know, doing what you told me to when you came and visited a few months ago, or like?
Yeah, so I'm still figuring it. I'm still reworking it. I'm committed to Alphabet Mafia and its mission. I think that there's a few different directions that it can go,
Yeah.
and I'm transitioning more to focusing on media because hey, I'm still here, Joel. Thanks for being here, Joel. So
Thanks,
I've
Joel.
realized through doing this is my I think that what I enjoy doing most is doing like these types of live streams and podcasts and talking to people. I was always told I had a radio voice. I was always told I had a personality, like a radio personality. So I want to kind of shift Alphabet Mafia into being a media brand that also does sell clothes, but not necessarily calling Alphabet Mafia a clothing brand. So I want
It's a
to,
brand,
yeah, I
period.
want to own the output of information and be the place where people come to be inspired, to be educated, to be informed on anything. Like I want Alphabet Mafia to be more of a Washington Post, maybe, than a Nike. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's where I'm taking it. I am planning to move to LA soonish. I don't like again with Corona and everything going on. It's like there's no
Messes
plans
everything
are
up,
set.
right?
Everything's a mess. Money is tight. Like just a lot of variables. But LA seems to be the place to be. Am now making new connections out in LA. Like it's
Yeah.
I want to be there. I want to connect with people, and also I think that Alpha Mafia could also go in the direction of I think producing content um, in multiple facets, short films and things like that. So maybe taking it in that direction as well.
That's
But
awesome.
I definitely want to take it with this creative side and this content side.
Yeah,
Rather
you seem to really enjoy this a lot more, I feel like, than just being like sort of behind the scenes, you know?
yeah,
I like
yeah,
personally, I think that at the end of my career, I want to be somebody who's behind the scenes, you know, like I'll have my fun and fame, but like it's not my goal, you
hmm
know. It's more of something that like I guess like I just want to have fun, you know. I just want to have fun with it. If I get famous, you know, like whatever, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. I'm just here to have a good time, you know. Just
yep,
here to spread a positive message and have a good time. That's all I'm here for.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Have you uploaded anything recently on your YouTube?
Yeah, I got a I got a channel strike for my video. Yeah.
I remember you texting me that. What
Yeah.
happened? Like, what was it?
So my video, do you know who Pink Eye is? You know, Filthy Frank. Do you
I
know who
know
that
Filthy
is?
Frank, not Pink. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, same thing, same thing. And so I reacted to one of his videos called Vomit Cake, which is exactly as the title says. They literally threw up the bake mix
Oh
and
my
cooked
god.
it and then ate the cake and then threw it up again pretty much. So I
Ew.
reacted to that video, and the video is still up on YouTube, but YouTube apparently, like, even though I censored out every cuss word, you know, like they still did not like the video, and they took it down and gave me a strike, and I was just like, oh, looks like I already have a strike, and I haven't even started YouTube yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
The odds are against me, but then again, when are they not? So.
Yeah. So wait, the original video is still up, but yours isn't?
hmm I mean, my video, my video that I made it's up on OnlyFans. If you guys want to go see it, if you guys want to go pay for that to go see it, it's up on OnlyFans. But it's not up anywhere else. And maybe I think that if anything, I'm not upset about it because it happened for a reason. You know, like if anything, this was a learning experience. I now know that YouTube is not the place that I grew up. Like I grew up on YouTube. Like I'm just like one of those kids who grew up on it.
Mhm.
And back then, it used to be a place where you could express yourself whatever way you want. You could kind of say motherfucker, whatever the fuck you wanted, 24/7. But now it's turned into this sort of platform that has become really, really, really highly monitored by brands because brands don't want their stuff advertised on bad content, which I totally get.
Mhm.
So I just have to find a way to work around that and still be able to have fun on the platform, but also make content that is not offensive. I don't know. Just it kind of upset me because that video was not bad. I think what got it suspended, if anything, was the fact that there was vomit in the video.
Yeah.
There was somebody vomiting in the video. I think that that's what really did it for YouTube. But I'm not too upset about it.
Mhm.
It's another it may be another setback, but it's just another thing to overcome.
How important is keeping a YouTube page like PG?
I don't want to keep my YouTube page PG. I
Me
want
neither.
to. You
But
see,
like,
I want to be able to be myself uncensored because, I mean, I don't know. I just that's just what I enjoy doing is being
yeah,
myself uncensored, and I'll find a way to do that on YouTube. It'll just take a little bit of mind melding and thinking. Like I already have a few ideas that I've thought about over, and I'm just kind of more of just deciding which way do I want to take my platform right now. Now that because I spent $170 to edit that video because so I've
mm,
decided that I'm gonna take the approach that um what's his name Mr. Beast. I'm going to take the approach that he takes, which I'm just going to pay everybody to do the work that I don't want to do. I'm going to make it fun for me. I'm going to pay everybody else to do the work that I don't want to do. I'm going to keep it fun for me.
mm,
So it cost me $180 to edit that video. $171 actually, no, not 180, 171. So like it was a bit of a financial boom blow. Like I expected that video to stay up, and me like YouTube for me is more of a long-term investment than a short-term. Like I'm okay with
sure,
dumping a few $1,000s in there before I see any money.
yeah,
But it was, if anything, that hurt a lot more than the YouTube thing. Just the fact that I spent like $170 on an editing. Like I made that video look fancy. I made that
yeah.
video look nice, like professional, and then just boom, shut down. I was just like, oh, well, there goes $170 down the drain. Oh well.
That's so. Did you just have like someone that you knew edit it?
Oh no, I basically I know this kid, or not a kid. He's a mid 20s man, and I don't know, again, I don't know if he wants his name mentioned in this live stream, so I'm just not going to mention it.
Sure.
And he hooked me up with his cousin. And
Mm,
his cousin is a professional editor, and I loved his editing style. Like I watched a few of his YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, this is the type of editing that I want in my videos. Something that is a child friendly, but still somebody who's an adult can still watch it. It's still entertaining for somebody who is in an older audience. Like that's what I went with. And there's this one kid who keeps commenting on every single one of my posts because I told him, I was like, dude, one day I'm gonna need an editor because this editor is gonna follow through. Which
yeah.
is just going to happen one day. Keep commenting on my posts and I'll give you that opportunity. And he keeps doing it every single post. Every day he DMs me. He's like, hey, I want that job every single day. So I'm giving him that job when it comes to it. But I've like being a creator has given me opportunities that I didn't know that I had before, because now I can just be like, hey, like I could just go on my platform, be like, hey, anybody know an editor? Hey, anybody know a clothing brand maker? Somebody will know somebody. And I
Right.
can just be connected by it like that. It's really, it's a privilege to have the following that I do. And, it's a privilege that needs to be taken advantage of to its most. Like you should not let if you have a privilege, like don't just let it sit there. You gotta take advantage of it and use it for good, So
Agreed. Agreed. So this person says that their cousin is a banker in Los Angeles and she pushes through funding for movies. That's cool. What kind of movies does she do? Do you know of any hits or anything that we would know? So with your channel on YouTube, are you looking to make like comedy videos? Are you looking to tell stories? Are you looking to do like literally like what Mr. Beast does and just give back? Or like what do you know? Or are you still like dating a few ideas?
I'm still debating a few ideas
Okay.
because I'm like, all of those ideas sound super fun to me, and I can do all of them. But I've struggled with really trying to find my passion. Like, you've seen my TikTok. Like, I'll sometimes make some really hardcore, like extreme, like TikTok with makeup, and like they have a storyline behind it, and
Yeah.
coronavirus. And then sometimes I'll just be like, I'm gay, and then just post
Yeah.
it. And so my creative energy, it kind of it differs from day to day. Sometimes I'll really want to like invest like 6 hours of effort and time into something. Sometimes I'll just post something and be like, this seems kind of entertaining, kind of funny. I'll post it.
Hmm.
So it kind of just, I don't know where I want to take my content on YouTube, because I know that on YouTube, in order to really succeed on YouTube, you have to be consistent in the content that you make. You know,
Yeah.
people follow you for your. Actually, no, I would argue people follow you more for your personality on YouTube. That I follow people for their personality. I don't know about you, but when I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling and I click on a random video, if the guy's a good personality, if he entertains me, I'll follow him. You know, but if he's
Yeah, if
not,
it's their energy and I like
yeah,
it, then. Well, I guess topic is important too, but
yeah,
YouTube's a weird one. I'm trying to figure that out. Obviously, we're watching it here on YouTube,
yep,
and I do have a few videos I'm writing that go along with Alphabet Mafia, including like. So I'm thinking of doing content that is more long, just long form, but very similar to TikTok. So like on TikTok, I'll talk about how there's more than two genders, but obviously it's in under a minute. So I think I'm just like
yeah.
on my YouTube on here, it will be like a longer form video with more like data, more science, more whatever, explaining it.
That's what I was thinking of doing too. But my issue is that TikTok for me is more of like a creative outlet. Like it's something that I do for fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if one of my videos goes big, like whatever. But YouTube is something like, for me, if I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, I want to make something that's like new. You know,
Yeah.
like something that, which is why I haven't made a video like yet. And like last week, I've been pondering for so long. Like I want to make something that is new, something that has never been done before, something that people will automatically be like, damn, I want to watch more of this. And I'm still struggling with ideas right now. You know, it's been a trying week trying to come up with ideas, but you know, I'm still on the creative board, you know, still thinking. So
I'm writing a short on cancel culture, or it's like a do you know Alfred Hitchcock, like the old director? Um, it's like a Alfred Hitchcock styled horror film or thriller, but it's about like the events leading up to someone being canceled. So like it's like a murder mystery, but it's like being canceled instead of being murdered. If that makes
oh,
sense.
I
It's
was
like
actually gonna make a skit about that too on TikTok, but I
really,
never got to it. Yeah, I never.
yeah,
I wrote a whole script out and everything for it, and then I just never got to it. I was like,
love that.
but yeah, I think, dude, cancel culture is something that needs to be talked about. Like I thought it was bad during like the YouTube era and stuff. No, it's like so much worse now. It's like so much worse.
This person says, "Why don't you go on Instagram Live? Is YouTube Hangouts better than Instagram Live?" Um, I don't know. I think for me, so the cool thing of what I like to do on here is that this allows me to record and download the audio. So if I did want to upload it into a podcast format and have people can listen to the audio of it, that's an option. That's why I do everything. That's why I do these lives on here. Um, and also, I guess I do have a bigger following on Instagram, but um, yeah, I just feel like my Instagram is too personal. Like this is where I come to do Alpha Mafia stuff. And my Instagram is more, I guess. Yeah, that's my explanation for that.
I have a private Instagram. I'm smart. I do this thing where I have my public Instagram, and then I have my private Instagram for like the really dedicated fans, and I'll just go live stream there whenever I feel like it, because then it gives them like this sort of like uncensored experience, because I censor myself a lot, like on TikTok and on my
Mm.
main Instagram live. Like I don't know if you do that. I do that a lot. Like I have to watch myself sometimes, because people like, they will go crazy if you say something that's even slightly controversial nowadays. And you know,
Yeah,
like in a podcast format, I'm able to explain my opinion. I'm able to be like, wait, no, I didn't mean that.
right.
But when you're on a live stream, you know, and there's just tons of comments, boom, that comment's out of the way now, and suddenly the topic's irrelevant. And it just kind of, it's kind of stressful, you know. If I'm
I
gonna be
I didn't go
honest.
live on TikTok for probably 2 months into having I was already like well over 100,000 followers before I ever went live, and that was
Yeah,
just simply because I had anxiety about being live and like not being able to edit what I said or whatever,
yeah.
which is a big mistake as a creator. From a creator standpoint, it's a mistake to not go live because you're not connecting with your fans
I
and
never go
building that.
live anymore on TikTok, simply because I just don't. Is there a way to disable donations on TikTok? Because I just don't want. That's the only reason I don't
Oh,
go
you don't
live.
want people to send you money?
I
Yeah,
don't want people to donate. Like I'm good. I'm good on money. I'm stable. Don't give me money. You probably need it more than me. Like I'm good right now. I got my OnlyFans. I have my stream of income that is stable. But when somebody donates, like they're donating that money to TikTok essentially.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I really like the way that TikTok is handling its algorithm right now. The only reason that there's this debate right now between straight and gay TikTok is because of the algorithm. The
Yeah.
algorithm has categorized us as gay or straight. That's the reality of it. It has. And I feel like, if anything, it's sort of like quarantined all the gay people,
Mhm.
to one thing. So nobody else outside of that community sees our videos.
Right. Yeah, we're stuck. Like like if you're gay, you're stuck in gay TikTok, which is I
Yeah.
would as a consumer, I would rather be in gay TikTok, but I also as a creator, I want my content to be pushed out elsewhere, and it's not, and it's actually being suppressed.
Yeah.
I know that they suppress it. Uh,
A lot.
yeah, a lot. Roughly how many subscribers do you have to OnlyFans? You don't have to give me like the exact number, but I'm literally just curious.
150, I believe.
You're making good money then.
150-ish, maybe a little bit more than that, a little bit
Yeah.
over, somewhere around there, I believe. I don't check it, like, I don't check my OnlyFans subscribers every day, so it like kind of fluctuates, but it's around that. And it's pretty consistent. I'm not gonna lie. It's a great. It's allowed me to be financially independent, and let me tell you that being financially independent, it's a freedom that I did not know I had, because now I can just, if I just, like, I'm putting most of the money into savings, but let's just say that I want to buy a second burger at In-N-Out, like, I can do
Yeah.
that now. I don't have to be like, Dad, give me your credit card, and I'll just be like, you know what, Dad, I'm gonna go buy it myself.
Right.
Or if I want to treat my friends, I can now treat my friends. If I want to buy my dad a gift, I'm now buying that gift with my money, not his money. Like,
Mhm.
when you're a kid, you buy your parents gifts with their money, essentially.
Mhm.
But now I can be like, hey, Dad, I got this with my money. Like, this was all me. It's kind of, it's freeing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. OnlyFans is so interesting. Because it's like it's not an easy way to make money. I know a lot of time and effort goes into it. But it's like so unique to you. Like it's literally like just you. Like that's why it's called like OnlyFans. Like it's not.
I love OnlyFans specifically because I decide what I put out there. I decide what they see of me.
Mhm.
I decide what I'm comfortable with of putting out there. And oh, I don't have I don't know if I've talked about this. I still have not shown my.
Oh,
I
okay.
still haven't. I still
Yeah.
haven't. It's been 3 months. It's just something that, it's not that I'm not comfortable doing it. It's just, I just don't want to do it like that. I don't know. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. Then and there's you don't have to, and you shouldn't feel pressure to if it's not something you don't want to do.
Exactly. And OnlyFans, like, the only people who are subscribed to your OnlyFans are your fans. And if
Mhm.
your fans are upset, like, some of the people on there, like, they'll get upset sometimes because, like, I'll get depressed, and sometimes it just won't respond for days.
Mhm.
I'll go.
Yeah.
It's ups and downs for me. Like, I've been having a lot of mood swings recently, but they're very patient with me. And whenever I need, like, somebody to be like, hey, Luke, what are you doing? Like, they're there. All they're there for is to support you. That's what OnlyFans is. The only reason those people are there is to support you. And
Not to.
if they
Yeah.
want to see, if they like, even if they want to wake it up, like, it's on them, man. It's
I was
not
gonna
on
say I
me.
think some people are there to jerk off, but
Oh, no, some people are, but some people, like, most, like, half of the subscribers on there, they legitimately message me. They're like, "Hey, I'm just on here because I love your content. I wanted to, like, support you some way." And I was just like, "Thank you."
so is it like Patreon but like more skin? Is that
Yeah,
it?
Patreon,
Yeah.
but more skin.
Okay.
I Patreon, like, I was gonna start a Patreon, but I just felt like I wasn't doing it. Like, I'm not giving you anything for Patreon. Like, you're just don't. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can. I'm not good at accepting gifts. I'm good at giving. I'm not good at accepting stuff. Like, I have to be giving you
Yeah.
something if you're gonna be giving me money. That's just, like, a fact of life. Like, I have this rule. Like, if I ever become TikTok famous and people invite me to go on a stage or something, like, no, I'm not doing that unless I have a talent.
Mhm.
Unless I somehow learn how to play the guitar and sing, I'm not going up on that stage unless I have something to offer the other person. Like, it just feels like a scam, if anything, at that point. If you're not, like, that's my opinion on it. Some people may disagree with me, but,
Yeah.
like, I think I would be like, I'm the person who is more than open to, like, if I'm, like, at a mall or something and somebody wants to meet up with me, like, I'll do it. I'm not gonna charge money for that. Like, you know,
Hmm.
I don't
I
know.
I was just thinking, this is so funny. This is I kind of want this to happen, but like I was live in the grocery store yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, what if I ran into a, it's so weird saying this, but what if I ran into a fan like while I was live in the grocery store, and then I brought them into the live and was like showing them off to the, and like they recognized me. I just thought how cool that would be to see that happen. And I don't know. Do you have any experience getting recognized or something like that
I've
happening?
only been recognized. Like, okay, so I've been recognized. People have not come up to me. They'll just dead stare me,
Mm,
or they'll just like be giggling, be like, "Oh my god!" Or they'll like. I remember this one time a week ago or so. I was at a park near my house, just
yeah.
working out, and I was about to go record a TikTok video on the playground for one of these something, and all these girls like start to come over to the playground. They're all giggling and stuff. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. This is kind of uncomfortable and kind of comfy. So I start walking out. They're like, no, wait, come back, wait. I was just like, oh god, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm
Yeah.
not. But at playlists, I got a lot of people that would walk up to me, or
Oh yeah,
like,
because you went to
no,
that.
okay, not a lot. Let me rephrase. Not a lot. Not a lot. Like six. I got like 6 or 5 people that walked up and asked for pictures, and I was just like, oh, this is. You see, I didn't know I had like at that time I didn't have like too big of a following. Like I only had 100K, I think at that
Hmm.
point. Now I have like 180, and now I would say that like if you're on gay TikTok, like you've seen my TikToks, you know,
Yeah.
like that's just like I think that I can say that now,
Yeah.
but before then, like, you know, I didn't have that big, and I was so appreciative. Everybody that walked up to me was super nice, super nice. But I remember going on lives a few times, and people were like, I didn't walk up to you because you just looked so intimidating. I was like, I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I was out. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was walking around playlist. Like, I was one of my friends there that I met. He had a room like at the actual hotel, so we were
Oh,
like going in the pool and stuff. So I was walking through the lobby like shirtless, like in my bathing suit and stuff. So I was like, okay, I can understand why, but I swear I'm not an asshole. I
yeah.
just have no shame. I'll just do whatever I want. I don't really care about other people's opinions. You know, that's just who I am. So
Yeah. Just remaining confident in it, in everything you do. Uh, I I went on Omegle and I got recognized by a few people, and I actually recorded it. So I need to actually post it on TikTok because it's like kind of funny just people's reactions. But this one guy was like, "Are you a YouTuber?" I was like, more so TikTok." And he like, "Wait, what's your TikTok?" And I was like, "Alpha Mob." He like looked up. He's like, "Holy shit, no way!" And like started freaking out. I'm
No,
like,
that's
"Yeah,
happened. I
man."
remember one time. Here. This is what you got to do. You gotta advertise to your profile. That be like, hey guys, I'm going on Omegle right now. If you wanna see me, go on right now. I did that
Okay.
at 1 a.m. or was it 12 a.m. on a weekday or a
Mhm.
weeknight or something, and a bunch of people were on Omegle. Like there were like 2 or 3 people that I met. I met. There's this drag queen that follows me, and I got to meet her. It was epic. I was like, okay. She was in full drag too. I was like, okay,
She was
okay.
ready.
She was ready. She was like full, like the lashes, the wigs.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. It's what 12 a.m. What are you doing? But I was like, damn, the commitment. Like it was. I love meeting the people that follow me. I don't know if I like to call them fan.
Mhm,
Like
I hate, like, thinking of it that way.
I hate that word. I don't know. Like followers. I no. Even then, observe. I don't know. Like
Observers.
No, Kanye was like, don't call them fans or followers, call them observers. And I was like, is it bad? Like I was kind of like, huh, like it's not a bad word for it. I don't know what else, like, because fans and followers, I feel like that's condescending. You know,
Yeah.
you're going like you're below me, you're a follower of me. No, you're observing
You're
what
part of
like
it. Like, you
you're a part of the experience. You're observing somebody do their thing. Like that's what it may not be a follower, you know, like, but I don't know.
and, like,
It's
you helped build it. My thing is, like, I can't like, the first, like, 1,000 people that followed Alphabet Mafia, like, I wanna meet them. Like, who are they? Where are they? Because, like, it's crazy to think that, like, that something can just build from, like, nothing to over time to being big,
being big.
and it's
I know.
like
I think. Ooh, yeah. So like I don't know if you did this, but like I know all of my OGs. Like if they join a live stream, I know who they are automatically. I recognize their usernames. I know who they are.
yeah.
But like I feel kind of bad for the new people because they're not getting that me, that like I
Right.
feel like I used to be so much more engaged with my community, but now like I don't even bother responding to any of my Instagram DMs anymore simply because it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
I have too much on my plate.
Yeah.
I literally right now at this moment I have over 100 unread messages on Snapchat, like over 1,000 unread texts. Like it's insane. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is my fault that I haven't read them, but it just like once you reach a point, you kind of overload. Like that's my point.
I agree. This is important to talk about, is because this past month for me at least has been hard. Like it's actually the first 2 months went great. I was like on top of everything. Everybody was getting a response. And this past month for me has been a little bit hard. Like it's become too much. I get too many DMs, and it's not that I don't want to respond to you. It's not that I don't like you or ignoring you, but like on my own mental health, it's starting to toll. It's like, I'm sorry, like I can't think about this right now. Like it's a lot. It's a lot when you have hundreds of DMs, especially when those hundreds of DMs are like about bad things. Like, hey, my mom is homophobic and she like does
Yep.
this to me. Like, hey,
Yep. I
I
get
don't feel
so many of
comfortable
those
doing this.
DMs
It's
now,
like,
and I can't respond to them, dude. I
right.
can't.
It's like
I feel so bad.
yeah, yeah. I
100.
almost
I
want to
literally
hire
get 100. I
someone.
get like 20 a day, and at
Yeah.
least I like 10 of them are fucking thirsting, whatever. But like the other 10 are like people like genuinely being like, oh my god, I love your content, or oh my god, like I don't know what to do. I'm like behind. I'm coming. I was like, I don't know how. Like I feel like maybe a great way to like do YouTube would maybe for me to interact with those DMs through like YouTube. I don't know. I don't know.
That's why I love the comment feature in TikTok, because it allows me to offer my advice in a most precise and efficient way, where I can just talk about it.
Yeah.
And this person has a question. What's the shelf life of the TikTok platform? I'm just thinking about Vine. It was big and then it's gone. This is an interesting question. Do you want to take this first, Luke?
Sure, I
Or
can take it.
okay.
I would say that the TikTok platform does not have a long shelf life, and I'm a creator. I acknowledge that, which is why I'm obviously expanding to other platforms. And I think that TikTok will last a while simply because of how diverse of a platform it is. But the moment that they lose the rights on the music is when TikTok will kind of die, or maybe it'll become like Vine. I don't know. TikTok is it's such a diverse platform. It's like the new Instagram because
Mhm.
the content, it's so much. It supports this sort of like ADHD type actions or notions where you just keep swiping, keep that. I get stuck on that app for like hours at a time, and I don't even mean to sometimes. So the longevity of TikTok, I think, like as a creator, I'm preparing for the worst. I don't know if you are, Ryan, but I am. I'm
Mhm.
preparing that, eventually it will get shut down. It will die. But at the same time, you should also like I'm also doing my best to take advantage of what is given to me now.
Mhm.
Though it will die, like you should still try your best to grow on that platform because those followers can transfer over to another platform and you can monetize them there. Which so
Yeah.
so the
I
longevity of TikTok, I don't know. It
I
could die.
I agree completely. I think that it's seeming to look like it's starting to look like that it's here to stay, because so many big brands and so many big celebrities are coming on the platform. And generally when that happens, that's when that platform is solidified as a thing. That's when, Twitter is solid because celebrities moved there.
Yep.
Instagram, Facebook, like that, they all became solidified. Vine didn't pan out because it never got solid. Brands weren't on there.
Brands were
Brands
not
weren't
on their side,
brands weren't
but
spending
brands were on
money
TikTok's
there.
side.
Celebrities weren't on Vine. Stuff. I am trying to move to YouTube. I'm trying to reproduce content that is fitting to the brand and Alphabet Mafia mission,
Yeah.
but more fitting to the YouTube platform. So like longer videos on explaining the difference between genders, things like that. Doing these types of conversations and podcasts. So it's the best place right now to grow and to build an audience. But if you are trying to be a creator, you need to start thinking about transferring them to YouTube and Instagram, because these are more solid platforms that actually are here to stay for sure. So
I think that TikTok, as long as TikTok manages to keep, like, I think that TikTok, the way that it brands itself is very well. Like, it has, from the outside to brands, it is a very friendly platform for ads. Very
mm,
friendly. But if TikTok somehow loses that edge, then that's when TikTok would be in trouble. If celebrities start leaving the platform, that is when it's in trouble. But I think that right now, I think that TikTok is like the most engaged app right now. I don't know that, maybe I'm totally wrong, and that's totally a statistic that I pulled out of my ass. But from what I'm seeing, like, celebrities are totally on it. I mean, look at Madison Beer is the most active that I've seen her ever on TikTok. I'm seeing her comments everywhere, everywhere.
mm,
I'm seeing more of her videos than I've ever seen. Jason Derulo, he's a TikTok creator. He is a TikTok
yeah.
creator. I would say he's a creator now. If he does not go to playlist next year, I would be kind of he's a creator on. He has fans on TikTok. He does. I've liked him now more because of TikTok.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Same with some of the rappers on TikTok.
Tyga.
Yeah, Tyga.
Tyga.
He also he's a great TikToker as well. Yeah, everybody's doing it. So now, or even some of the actors. The guy that plays the guy who acts in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Noah Schnapp.
Yeah, Noah Schnapp.
Yeah.
He's a TikToker too. He's on TikTok 24/7.
I
That
know. I
man, I
love
see
that
his
guy.
comments on videos that have 7,000 likes. I'm just like, okay, you're on TikTok is more than me. Like,
Yeah.
shoot, man. Okay. But it really just depends on how TikTok needs to make sure that the toxicity levels on that app do not get too high, because I feel like the tensions have definitely risen recently. Like, every single cult following that's made or joke, or like the fairy comments, or the
Mm.
whole gay straight TikTok, like, it originally starts as a joke, and then I feel like it kind of gets worse and worse, and like it gets out of hand.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
don't know
gets
if you've
too
seen that, but
far. I've seen some of those fairy comments that are like super racist or like encouraging people to kill themselves or something like that. And it's just
and
like,
like, as I don't know about you as a creator, like, even though they're favorite comments, even though I know that they're a joke,
yeah,
like, it still bothers me. I'm just like, bruh. Like when I was first getting them, because I didn't really like, okay, not when I was first getting them. It was more when I was receiving a bit of hate like a few weeks back, and the fairy comments, they were just not it. They were not fun. Like, like, normally the
mm,
fairy comments are like, oh, you're so cute, but take away the UT, or so, and make up a
yeah,
little phrase or something, or like, but now it just seems like they're just kind of insulting people. They're using the fairy comments as an excuse to insult people. That's what it seems like it's turned into, if
yeah.
anything.
It's no longer a joke, but it's actually a hater using it to hate.
Yeah. Has anybody
Versus,
commented or anything?
um, that was a recent one. The other one is, do you think there's a TikTok addiction, especially for children? I would say for sure. I mean, I think you can get addicted to anything, and there's definitely an opportunity to be addicted to TikTok if you're a minor, just because it is so engaging. It's so easy to watch a 10-second video and then scroll to the next one. I mean,
Yeah.
adults are addicted, so children definitely can be addicted.
I would say that like, children will get addicted to anything and everything. And I think that when I become a parent, I am going to do my best to enable my child, to make sure my child is, obviously tech smart, tech savvy. But I think that, I may not have liked, going back to how my mom raised me, I may not have liked in the moment the way that she raised me, but I can say right now that my upbringing has definitely made me the person that I am.
Mm.
And the fact that I wasn't on the internet at a young age, I feel like that really helped my development. I wasn't exposed. I was able to figure myself out to some small degree before being exposed to all these different opinions. Because my parents, like, they both of them never really pushed opinions on me. They just kind of let me figure myself out. Obviously my mom would intervene a few times, like, no, you're not allowed to watch this or that. But like, it was mainly me, just like, she was giving my dad too was giving us time to figure ourselves out. And like, I don't know, it's a very dangerous game, because I have a friend who I've been friends with this family for like the last 10 years. And I got to watch his little sister grow up on the internet. And when I say that she is totally different, like, she's 8 years old, 9 years old now, and she's cussing. She's saying some vulgar words. She's watching YouTubers that like I would watch, and I'm just like, you're watching this stuff? Or you're you know, she's watching some like vile, like some of the kid videos on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever gone down that hole on YouTube. Have you ever gone down that hole?
Not really.
Some
The
of the
kid
kid
videos?
some of the kid videos are terrifying, man. I don't understand what they're like. There's like gore in it, but it's not like exactly gore. It's like it's very weird. The realm of child YouTube is so weird. It's even weirder than the surface level content. I don't know, but it's just like it's a very dangerous game, letting your kid have internet when they're young. That's my opinion on it. It's a dangerous game.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful with everything that's going on and everything that they can be exposed to, because there's bad people out there, and there's going to be bad content out there, and things that aren't good for their mind.
Like, the internet is a tool, and I think that you need to know how to use that tool before you should be given that tool. You know, just like everything. You know, like drugs are a tool. You should know how to use that tool before you take drugs. Just or, you know, a phone is a tool. Everything is a tool. You just need to learn how to use it in the right way.
A car is a tool. Yeah, you got to learn how to drive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Luke, we just talked for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Damn,
that do you have
wasn't
any
expecting that.
That was good. That time flew by.
Yeah, it did. We had some good conversations there, I'm not gonna lie.
It was good. I hope everyone listening got some value out of those conversations.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for listening, and I want to thank Luke for coming on and doing this.
Thank you so much for inviting me and having me again, man. It's always a pleasure. You know, I love doing these podcasts with you. Seriously, they're always
absolutely. Well, I love talking to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.